So this is a view of the Starliner spacecraft approaching the International Space Station, a little bit less than 5 kilometers away from the International Space Station. That's why it's showing as a little more than a star against the backdrop of Earth. Starliner flying below and behind the International Space Station as it flies its very precise flight path up to the orbiting laboratory.
And again, as it makes its way to the space station, Starliner will be completing some demonstrations. These allow the spacecraft to meet its flight test objectives for Orbital Flight Test 2. The first, Starliner completed a checkout of its navigation and orientation control systems. Once in orbit, flight control teams checked the star tracker and looked with Vesta's narrow field cameras to determine that the spacecraft is looking at the correct stars. Starliner also tests of critical on-orbit capabilities as Demo 2. These are thruster firing and abort sequences, so when the systems perform as expected, it proves they can be used if needed. The third demo is for ground controllers to test the Vesta navigation systems that will guide Starliner toward the International Space Station's docking adapter. And the fourth demo is for astronauts on the space station to remotely turn on and off the docking lights, proving that the crew can command the spacecraft if needed.
And getting ever clearer views of Starliner as it approaches. We see the conical shape of Starliner as it approaches. Starliner is currently 609 meters away from the International Space Station, moving at a relative speed of about 1/3 of a meter per second. Starliner maneuvering inside the approach ellipsoid, going through its carefully choreographed, carefully planned maneuvers, getting a little bit of sunlight now coming up, reflecting, giving that unique color to the Starliner spacecraft as it moves in.
It's looking good, Steve. That sunrise coming up as the station and Starliner, as you mentioned, which is now less than 600 meters away, or over the western border of Australia. They're coming up on an orbital sunrise as they cross over into the Pacific Ocean.
Rendezvous reports good burn. That went just as it was supposed to. Produced great video too.
That was spectacular. Yeah, we got to see the RCS thrusters that enable that burn. We got to see them firing just in the right amount of sun and the right amount of exposure of the cameras themselves to give us those spectacular views.
Okay, and Houston, we have CST 100 in sight.
Copy, tally-ho.
Tally-ho from the ISS crew. ISS astronauts can see Starliner directly. We are getting great images from the camera, of course.
Yeah, these look great, Steve. The International Space Station and Starliner are about to cross that terminator line. We're seeing some of the clouds there in the background as we pass over the Tasman Sea. We're just south of Tasmania. We're about to cross over the southern Pacific Ocean.
Starliner now inside 500 meters to the International Space Station. 478 to be precise, 478 meters. At a speed relative to the space station of 0.18 meters per second. And we have word from Rendezvous that Starliner is executing Demo 6. It is retreating from the International Space Station just as it's supposed to.
Farmer Starliner is retreating. Expect Starliner to hold at 200 meters.
Station.
This retreat is going to take Starliner just to the edge of the keep-out sphere, which is that imaginary boundary about 200 meters from the space station. We're seeing some of the imagery coming from those cameras aboard the Starliner spacecraft that is looking right at the forward port of the International Space Station. It's looking at the forward port of the Harmony module. And you can also see the outlines of the GEM, the Japanese experiment module called Kibo, the Columbus European laboratory, the truss itself, the crew vehicle. So lots to see in that picture as the Starliner moves in towards the International Space Station. Getting this imagery coming in of Starliner approaching the International Space Station at a distance of 47.5 meters, and the imagery coming in clear enough to show the entry cover that has opened over the nose of Starliner. That opened up yesterday, a little bit more than an hour after liftoff. In fact, some of course, the clearest images so far of Starliner, getting to see some of the livery on the Boeing spacecraft, and a really good look at the arrangement of the docking lights. We've been watching this for a little while now as Starliner emerged from the darkness of space, as a little more appearing to the crew and the cameras as a little more than a very bright light, closing now, getting very close to the forward port of the space station, and really able to show off a lot of the details of the spacecraft as it makes this orbital flight test 2, and as it closes in for the first rendezvous and docking flight path to the space station. Also in this view, able to see some of the exhaust plumes from the small reaction control system thrusters on Starliner as they fire periodically. Just maintenance.
Station Houston, Space Ground 2 for Starliner status. Joe Farmer, want to let you know that we are not going to make the docking window for this orbit. We expect to have a final approach initiation at 2350. So that means that we're going to be after what was the evening DPC, so we are going to abort the evening DPC. But if you have anything to tell us, let us know.
Okay, copy that. No evening DPC, and I will plan 2350 Zulu.
And that's a good read. Once we get to the 10-meter hold point, we will refine that time just a little bit. We'll let you know.
Okay, copy all.
Rendezvous officer reports that Starliner is in the 10-meter rendezvous box.
Station Houston on 2. Starliner is at the 10-meter hold. Perform step 7 in 1.102. And we're working on a finalized FAI as mentioned. And we are seeing really good video from the EHDC.
Okay, station copies. We see the same 10-meter hold. Vehicle mode is hold. Step 7, we have brought up the 10-meter hold overlay and understand updated time for the initiation of docking is forthcoming.
Good read. Station Houston, Space Ground 2 for docking status.
Grover Station.
Farmer, I wanted to let you know that a few of the NDS components did not go to the an intended config. Therefore, we need to retract the docking ring to reset the system. We're expecting that to take about 30 minutes. We will come back to you with a new FAI time.
Okay, copy that. 30 minutes to retract the ring and then re-extend it. And just confirm we're happy holding at 10 meters while we do all the troubleshooting.
Copy. Thanks.
All right, the teams here are talking through. There is an opportunity to execute the final approach initiation much earlier than anticipated to beat a 7-minute handover, or a handover in 7 minutes. We can expect the teams, they're talking about it now, to go ahead and execute that maneuver. And they just did. Final approach initiation has been commenced.
Station Houston on 2. Starliner final approach has begun. Perform steps 8 and 9 in 1.102.
Copy. Approach the docking port for the vehicle mode. Steps 8 and 9 in work.
Starliner inside 10 meters. And on the move, 0.04 meters per second. It'll take 4 minutes to close this distance of what is now less than 9 meters to the International Space Station's forward port. Imagery we're seeing coming from one of the external cameras on the ISS just shifted the views. Now watching Starliner make its final approach. Docking ring extended. Seven meters away from the forward port. Estimated contact, a little bit more than 2 minutes. Crossing 2 minutes to contact right now. Starliner continuing to close in on the International Space Station at a distance of 5.3 meters, closing in at 0.05 meters per second. Alternating views between the International Space Station and the Starliner sensors themselves as they close in on the forward port of the Harmony module. Starliner looking to connect to the international docking adapter there at the forward end of Harmony. Docking ring extended. You can see some of the separation coming in with that inner ring. Those 3 pedals will inside 4 meters. One minute to contact. Inside 3 meters. Quiet in the control room. Starliner continuing to close in. Two meters, Starliner coming 2 meters to the International Space Station. One meter to docking, less than 20 seconds. Press to dock. Contact, capture.
Soft capture confirmed.
Copy. Station showing good soft capture.
Boeing Starliner spacecraft completes its historic first docking to the International Space Station, opening a new avenue of access for crews to the orbiting laboratory.
That docking time comes at 7:28 p.m. Central Time. The International Space Station was 271 statute miles over the South Indian Ocean with the Starliner attached to its forward port.
MPO confirms hard docking complete. Advanced ICE has moved Starliner to dock mode. Another first.
That's applause you hear.
Station Houston, Space to Ground 2 for Starliner.
Go for station.
Hard mate is complete. ISS thrusters are enabled, and we can welcome Starliner to ISS.
That's great news. Thank you to Rob. Thank you, Rob. Thank you to the entire ops team for some great work tonight. To the joint Boeing and NASA team, the crew of Expedition 67 would like to offer our congratulations on this momentous occasion. Today marks a great milestone towards providing additional commercial access to low Earth orbit, sustaining the ISS, and enabling NASA's goal of returning humans to the Moon and eventually to Mars. Great accomplishments in human spaceflight are long remembered by history. Today will be no different. So to Starliner, its commander, Rosie the Rocketeer, and all the men and women who poured their hearts and souls into this vehicle and this mission, welcome to the International Space Station.
Great words, Farmer. Thank you so much for all your great work today.
Thank you guys as well. Have a good night.
And Station Starliner Control Center here. Thank you for the great words. We are happy to be there and looking forward to a great mission.
And likewise, and Starliner is looking beautiful on the front of station.
We love it too.